Agent Exposed signing in. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and awareness purposes only. We do not support or promote any illegal activity. Our mission is to help you stay safe, informed, and empowered in the digital world. Your face, your voice, your every move, tracked by AI. And you probably never gave explicit permission. What if I told you that's already happening? Imagine walking home after dinner. You're not doing anything wrong. Just scrolling through your messages, earbuds in, hoodie up. You cross a few streets, pause at the crosswalk. You don't notice the CCTV above you shift slightly, or the small drone nearby that pauses midair for a moment too long. You certainly don't realize your face is being analyzed, mapped, and cataloged. But somewhere on a screen you'll never see, your profile just updated, face detected, identity matched, location tagged, risk score 0.7, flag for review. You didn't download an app. You didn't give consent. You just existed. And that was enough to trigger a scan by today's increasingly complex AI-powered observation systems. The scary part? You're not the customer. You're the data. Let me introduce you to someone. Let's call her Zara. She's 19, a university student, studies political science, loves photography, vintage fashion, and live music. Zara lives in London and believes in making her voice heard peacefully. One weekend, she joins a citywide climate march with handmade signs, music, and speeches. Nothing unlawful, nothing dangerous. Zara doesn't even bring her phone. She's cautious because she's heard about facial recognition being used at public gatherings. What she doesn't know is that 2 blocks away, mounted discreetly on a rooftop, a van carries equipment that scans faces in real time. It's using high-resolution cameras and publicly available photo data. Things like university IDs, social media posts, even old yearbook pictures. The system flags Zara. Why? Because 2 years earlier, she shared a post that questioned government policy. She didn't write it. She didn't comment. Just tap share. A log is created. Her name is noted. 3 days later, while entering the subway, she stopped and asked to confirm her identity. She's confused. It feels random. But it wasn't. Zara had no idea her face was being logged, or that any kind of record was created. She never agreed to this. And this isn't sci-fi. It's real. In London, facial recognition pilot programs have been tested in high-traffic areas. Independent watchdogs found some systems at error rates as high as 81%. That means 8 out of 10 matches could be wrong, but still acted on. Across the Atlantic, during major U.S. demonstrations in recent years, AI systems were reportedly used to gather data from public images and online content, often without clear notice or consent. But let's take it a step further. What if these systems don't just identify your face, but analyze your emotions? In some countries, AI-enhanced cameras can reportedly track micro-expressions, subtle facial cues like lip tension, brow movement, or blinking patterns. The goal? Estimate whether someone might be nervous, angry, or unsettled. These emotional readings are then fed into behavioral prediction models, generating scores of who seems safe or suspicious. Some programs have been deployed in sensitive regions to monitor for intent, not actions, but potential reactions. Imagine being flagged not for what you did, but for what a system guessed you were feeling. Let's look at another example. In 2021, a security breach in a major Eastern European city exposed how widespread surveillance systems can be. Over 170,000 cameras, many of them powered by facial recognition, were tapped by outside attackers. They were able to pull footage, movement logs, and even location trails of individuals. What was once a tool for safety became a service. Some online actors even offer to track individuals for a small fee just by uploading a photo. That wasn't theory. It was a real incident. So ask yourself, how many systems scanned you this week? Did you pass under a traffic camera? Enter a mall? Unlock your phone with Face ID? Appear in someone else's TikTok selfie? Scroll social media with the front-facing camera active? In most cities, experts estimate you're recorded more than 70 times a day, often without realizing it. Each of those images could be used to train an AI system, and often you don't even know who's behind it. Let's talk about a well-known company in this space, Clearview AI. Clearview scraped over 3 billion images from public websites like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, building a massive face-matching database without asking users for consent. Who used this database? Law enforcement agencies, security contractors, private firms. When the company was challenged, its defense was simple. The data was already public. Therefore, fair game. But here's the twist. You can delete your posts. You can close your accounts. But you can't delete your face, not once it's been scanned, stored, and shared across systems. A 2023 report revealed some agencies around the world had access to Clearview-style tools without public oversight. One country reportedly used it to track journalists, another to monitor social groups, another to track political opposition. And it's not just governments. Private businesses are getting in on it too. Some malls now test facial recognition to monitor shopper behavior. Some banks are experimenting with AI cameras to assess emotional states at ATMs. Schools in select districts are deploying Face ID systems to log attendance, manage visitors, and monitor behavioral patterns. The line between safety and surveillance? It's not just blurry anymore. Let me tell you about Ahmed, a software engineer based in Lagos. He was hired by a security company to help optimize facial recognition models. During testing, he noticed something deeply troubling. The system misidentified darker-skinned faces up to 40% more frequently than lighter-skinned ones. When he raised the issue, he was told to focus on performance metrics. Accuracy, he was told, was contextual. Ahmed eventually left the company. Years later, the same firm was linked to a deal involving camera systems installed at public transportation hubs, without public notice. So why should this matter to you? Because even if you avoid protests, don't share controversial posts, and rarely use your camera, your face can still be swept into the system. You could be misidentified, or flagged, or added to a list without ever knowing. In 2022, a man in Detroit was briefly detained after a facial recognition system made an incorrect match. He spent over a day in custody before the error was corrected. Even if you're innocent, AI doesn't see innocence. It sees probability. And probability can fail you. Let's go back to Zara. Months after her subway incident, she files a data request. She wants to know what information was collected. It takes weeks. She finally receives 38 pages. Screenshots, time logs, location maps, metadata. One line stands out. Subject displays high-risk social engagement indicators. She stares at it. What does that even mean? Turns out her social media posts, online interactions, and public attendance history were used by an algorithm to assign a risk level. There was no appeal, no human review, just data. She wasn't just watched. She was categorized by a machine. So how does this system work? Facial recognition starts with scanning 68 to 128 points on your face. Eyes, nose, jawline, lips. These features become a unique face print, like a fingerprint but digital. The system then compares this face print against massive databases, sometimes with billions of entries. The most advanced ones account for changes in lighting, age, angles, and even partial occlusions. But here's the kicker. These systems can be hacked, spoofed, or tricked. In 2024, researchers showed how adversarial patches, special stickers worn on hats or glasses, could fool the world's best AI cameras. These patches could make you invisible, or worse, impersonate someone else. Imagine this. Someone copies your face print. They use it to unlock access points, enter buildings, fool systems, or even frame you digitally, all without your knowledge. Scary? Yes, but not hopeless. So what can you do? 1. Know your rights. In regions like the EU, you have rights to access and delete your biometric data. Use those tools where possible. Push for transparency. 2. Use privacy tools. Some browser extensions block face tracking scripts. Webcam covers are cheap and effective. Anti-surveillance makeup or visors, used by artists and researchers, can scramble face print detection. 3. Speak up. Demand ethical use of AI. Ask your local representatives what privacy protections exist. support organizations working to regulate biometric tech. This isn't about rejecting progress. It's about insisting on consent, transparency, and fairness. Because today it's Zara. Tomorrow, it could be your child, flagged for joining a campus club. Or your friend, questioned because of a false match. Or you, misread by a machine and denied something that matters. Would you trade your freedom for a false sense of safety? If this episode gave you something to think about, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, subscribe. In the next one, we're exposing the billion-dollar industry trading in your biometric data and the hidden players you've never heard of. The AI isn't just watching, it's learning, and you're already in the system. Agent Exposed signing out.